I'm Christian Abbott.
I'm Nathan Lavender.
I'm Sean Abbott.
And this is the Red Mist Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the Red Mist Podcast, Season 2, Episode 28. Unfortunately, Nate's not here tonight, but he would have loved this. The number 28, Texaco Haviland, Robert Yates Racing, Ford Thunderbird of Davey Allison, the late, great Davey Allison. Well, there you go. Classic car, fast car, too. Loved it. Great graphics, great sponsorship. It was awesome. Anyways, on tonight's episode, we'll talk about 2 episodes of NASCAR racing, recaps. Crayola 301
No,
New Hampshire.
No, Crayon.
Oh, the Crayon.
Yeah.
Sorry. I keep thinking it was Crayola.
I know.
I even asked Nate that, and it was no. So, Crayon 301. And then we had Pocono, the Tricky Triangle. That was the Pocono 400. A little bit of controversy there. From one of our favorite drivers who was resoundingly booed at Stafford Springs 2 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
We'll move on to IndyCar, the doubleheader. The Toronto race, which surprise winner, which was good to see, and surprise team. So that was fun. And then on to the doubleheader at Iowa. With a not such surprising winner, but still dominating performance. Yeah. And he gets full props for that. We'll talk a little bit of IMSA at Lime Rock this weekend, a GTD only race. Typically a race that we are at live. However, I think we're not attending.
We traded it for Watkins Glen.
We traded it for Watkins Glen. But,
so I think that was a good move this year.
It's kind of a silent protest also. Not at Lime Rock. But
no, I think
IMSA.
but with the GTPs coming in, I think that was a much more wanted venue to go see.
I'd like to see a little more support race action there.
At Lime Rock.
Yes, I don't care.
Not Watkins Glen.
No, we can get to it when we talk about it, and then finally we'll talk about F1 in Hungary. Sometimes the story changes, sometimes it doesn't.
No.
And then we'll catch up on some racing news, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So as I said in the opening, Nate's not here tonight. He's on assignment. He has not been sacked, same as Nick DeVries' fate. But
no, he's just at an undisclosed location.
He's at an undisclosed location.
So
hopefully we'll be back with us next week.
Yeah.
And apologize for the week lapse, but schedules get a little busy in the summer. People on vacation, people doing things. So we're back and rested and ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's get into it. Let's talk NASCAR. It's Christian's favorite subject. Fortunately, I was able to watch all 2 events. I will say this about the Crayon 301. Truex dominated. So nothing more to say there.
Somebody, I thought I saw someone saying that every time Truex has won, he's like won in a dominating fashion.
Yes.
So it's never like a close, like he always just walks
apparently
away
the only what he quote unquote home track. Now, it's kind of weird because he's from New Jersey, so you can kind of say he's New Hampshire is a home track because his dad drove here and he's raced here as well, both in modifieds, and his dad raced back in the Busch North Series and stuff like that. But I mean, you could say Dover definitely is because it's close to where the family's from in southern New Jersey. But I would also say that Watkins Glen could be a home track for him, kind of, even though it's a road course.
Yeah, I mean, you're pretty central to a lot of places.
Central,
to get from there.
So, anyways, but it was a dominating performance by Martin. So, just keeping him right in the championship hunt. Another win, still locked in. So, good the news there. guess the only big news on Martin is whether or not he'll retire at the end of the year, which has been speculated. However, I think with the rate he's going right now, I think he'll be back. Local hero Joey Logano finished second in the Crayon 301 after a stellar performance at Stafford in the booth.
I was going to say that was probably because he wasn't on track for that race. Didn't get his practice in.
Right, and then Larson somehow fit in a Sprint Cup race. A Cup race in his busy schedule of sprint car racing. So, anyways, finished third. Harvick finished fourth. Oh, Nate's boy, Bad Brad, finished fifth. He overcame a bad night at Stafford.
Bad heat one.
bad heat at Stafford to come through with Tyler Reddick. Oh, and then Denny Boo Hamlin. He was booed at Stafford. We'll get to this week. Finishing seventh with Darrell Wallace finishing eighth. Austin Dillon, pre-helmet throw, finished ninth with Chase Briscoe 10th at the Crayon 301. So I don't have anything more to say that because the race was rained. It was
pushed to Monday.
Pushed to Monday. Fortunately, working from home, I was able to keep it in the background on, and every time I turned around, Truex was leading. So it's just dominated the race. So it was very uneventful. I will say that.
Well, you got to hold the lobster at the end.
You did get to hold the lobster. It was a big lobster, which is not very tasty. I don't know why they have a big lobster. I know it's show and tell, but
it's show and tell.
You
got to rival the grandfather clock somehow.
Yeah, couldn't they? I know the Old Man of the Mountain fell, but couldn't they do an Old Man of the Mountain sculpture from New Hampshire granite? That'd be kind of cool.
That wouldn't be bad.
I don't Loudon's not really near the seacoast. It's near the coast of Lake Winnipesaukee, which is just a few short miles away.
Yeah, outside of Homestead, how close is Fontana from the water?
It's not. That's out in the desert going to Vegas.
That is. So then what other track is closer to the water outside of Homestead?
Dover.
Dover is.
Yeah.
Well,
anyways, just saying.
Relative.
Couldn't they have a quahog? Big clam. That'd be fun.
You could do a no. You wouldn't do a crab.
No. Crabs are Dover would be a crab.
Yeah.
But anyways, you got to hold the big lobster. So anyways, that was cool. It is unique.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they do with the friggin' thing afterwards.
Somebody takes it.
Yeah, but it's not. I like lobster, but big lobsters the bigger the lobster get, it's not really that good. So if you get a big jumbo lobster, typically what you're gonna do is just cut it and bake stuffed lobster.
Mm-hmm.
I won't go into that. Go into the details of it, but yeah, you do. Basically,
no. I get it.
You dunk it in the hot water, and then you cut it open, and put the stuffing on top, and you grill it. Or bake it, whatever. Yeah. Or you can steam them, but I wouldn't steam a big jumbo lobster. That always cracks me up when I see people eating them. I'm like, ooh, not so sure about that. Anyways, so that covered the New Hampshire race. Let's move to Pocono, to the Tricky Triangle, and my boy Denny. I did laugh at Stafford when he got booed. Mm-hmm. He believes everything that he says is right. It's awesome. It's like Denny's own world. And he contends that he didn't touch Larson.
Yeah.
And he did. There's no scrapes on the car. Doesn't matter. You turned them. Even Truex said it was. And I get why Larson's, pissed off.
Yeah.
It was a Bush move. But it's, again, as you said, Christian, it's typical NASCAR.
I was going to say, honestly, looking at the replay, from first glance, I really didn't see anything wrong.
Yeah.
Because they just ran him up the track.
If you ran him up the track, that's fine. But he did turn him.
On the last...
The one that...
The move for the win?
Yeah, the move for the win. That was all the problem.
Oh, I thought he just got into his side. That was about.
No, he got into his side and walled him. So Larson walled the car on the right side.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
did he push? Didn't he push him and run him deep in the corner?
No. Just
he backed
it was
off
okay. He went down. He went down low.
Yeah.
Ran him up, which is fine. But then he kept running him up, and then he ran him right into the wall.
So when did he turn him?
He did. He hooked him. He got to him as he was running him up. Larson started to pull ahead, but then he got into the door, the driver's side door, and then walled him.
Oh, okay.
So he just claims he didn't touch him, but he did. Truex said he did. Kyle Petty had a few things to say after the race, and that was pretty funny. And I was spot on for his candor in that. So
yeah,
as everyone else kind of ducked their heads in the sand, at least Kyle kept his head out, unlike the rest of them. Anyways, so Denny won, got booed. Great pictures of the fans flipping him off. Kind of thought I was at Stafford. So Denny wonders why he gets booed.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so Denny finished first. Tyler Reddick second. Truex top three again. So he finished third. Harvick again continues this strong streak. Needs a win though to get in, but I think he's leading the points now for the non-winners so far. We had Ty Gibbs with a big run. Good for him. Christopher Bell, Stenhouse, Harrison Burton, Eric Jones, and Chase Elliott. Round out your top 10.
All right.
Here we go. All right, that's our NASCAR report. 2 weekends.
And they're off to Richmond.
I believe that's a night race. Nope. Sunday at 3.
No.
That stinks. I like the night race there. All right. Toronto. IndyCar.
Bumpy. Repaved. Still bumpy.
Yeah. Wow. And we had a very crowded pit lane.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a great race. I don't know. People didn't like it. I don't know. I thought it was fun to watch.
There was enough strategy in it that it kept it interesting.
Yep.
I was disappointed to see Bloomquist out on lap 1. But
yeah,
I mean, with that kind of an incident,
right? What's going to happen there?
They're not going to escape too much.
Yeah, there's not much you can do. Which stunk because I think he was basically looking just to get miles. No matter where he finished.
I didn't expect him to finish anywhere high or anything like that. I just wanted a decent run,
like a street course. Obviously, an oval with no experience, you wouldn't have considered him for that ride.
No.
If it was any other, I think Shank just said, it's one of my guys. I'm going to put him in, which is fine. Because I just thought, that was a good opportunity. He was going to stay out of trouble. So he's raced on street courses before. I mean, he raced Long Beach. I mean, racing a prototype on Long Beach is essentially racing an Indycar.
Yeah.
So, I mean, different characteristics. You have the non-power steering and things like that with the IndyCar, which you have power steering with the
But the same rules of street racing apply.
Yeah, and the cars, I think width-wise, are about the same. What's that?
As SVG can attest.
Oh yeah, well we'll get to that. That's gonna be.
Actually, did we? No, we got to go back to NASCAR because we didn't mention it. But SVG is coming
well, I was
going to
save that. I was going to save that for our news and notes segment.
Well,
so we'll get to that
bomb.
Well, there's two. There's a couple. There's another bomb too that dropped, and then the SVG bomb dropped.
Yeah.
So the surprise of the weekend, Christian Lundgaard.
Yeah.
Well-deserved win. Good win for Rahal Letterman after just a horrid month of May.
Yeah.
They were actually able to place. Graham was able to finish.
Well, no, I wouldn't say a horrid month of May. Because during the Indy GP they were up there.
Oh yeah, but I should say the
Indianapolis 500. Yes,
yeah,
the 500.
Which,
yes, was,
I forget about the GP.
Yeah.
But anyways, And Graham rebounded here with a 9th. So that was, 2 cars in the top 10, 1 winning. Good thing there. Palou, once again, consolidated his points lead.
Very, very Scott Dixon.
Yes, very much so. And Scott Dixon is kind of creeping along too.
Yeah.
But the Penske guys outside, excuse me, Newgarden and McLaughlin, the Bus Bros, finished 5th and 6th in that race. Marcus Armstrong definitely putting himself into contention if Palou's leaving, which we all assume he is from Ganassi. And then Pato 8th. Colton finished 3rd, which was good.
Yeah.
Pato finished 8th. I don't know.
It's in that part of the season.
Yeah, it's in that part. This is where he always has a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just him. It's a bunch of other drivers too.
Right.
Like there's some that have strong starts at the beginning of the season, and then it just kind of tails off.
There's no like when you get the McLaughlins, the Newgardens, the Dixons, Palous. Those guys are all being consistent.
Palou's on a different level.
Yeah, he's on a different level right now. But those guys are all being consistent finishers over the last 2 years. And then we had Graham and then Felix Rosenquist with a 10th place finish. A shout out to Augustine Canapino. He finished 12th. Okay?
That is sneaky.
He's a rookie.
Yeah.
Okay? Never driven open wheel cars. Okay? And he finished 12th here.
Yeah. I
think that speaks volumes to his capability. So well done to Augustine. So
his goal every race is just to complete every single lap.
Yeah, that's basically what he's doing. Yeah,
very basic goal, but he's setting out and just trying to achieve the.
Yeah, Roman had a tough weekend. He had went over a bump and literally the wheel came right out because just how bumpy the track is. It's crazy. It is bumpy.
It's bumpy, but
pit lane was super crowded because they had. I think that was the most cars, 27 that they've had there in the new configuration. Because the pit lane used to be on the other side of the track, but then they built the soccer stadium and the soccer stadium and like a hotel there, so that took up the pit lane. Yeah. So, anyways, that was good. Let's move on to Iowa. Doubleheader this weekend. I thought, and I always look forward to this because I like Iowa. I wish the Saturday race was at night.
Yeah.
Or Saturday race, yes, you can't do the Sunday race at night. Sorry. Saturday race at night, that'd be kind of cool under the lights. But I get they got a whole entertainment thing, but also it does give the teams more time to get the cars prepped for the next day. Because each race is a separate. It's not like race one ends and the cars go and parked from A. It's a new race day. They do all the qualifying on Saturday, round one, race one, race two, and then the cars get parked and they can get fixed overnight. So, but I mean, Power was the guy in qualifying, but Newgarden owns this place. He literally does. Penske overall put 3 cars in the top 5 in race one. Pato did bounce back in this race, finished 3rd, but he was a little surly after the race, out of sorts.
Yeah.
It was like a weird interview. And it got weirder on Sunday, but it's just it's a tough track. It's fast. Newgarden definitely excels on this. His background is not ovals. I mean, he came up road racing. He is now, well, I'm going to spoil the surprise because he won on Sunday, but right now he has swept all of the ovals. All that's left is
5 ovals. That's 5 ovals.
5 ovals. There's 6 in overall because Gateway, right? He could potentially sweep all 6.
Yes, he could.
Which I think is amazing.
Which also doesn't bode well for the. They have that $1 million giveaway if you win. Whoever's the first driver to win.
So
one race of the first.
He hasn't
3.
run. He hasn't. Isn't it? You got to win on a road course.
You got to win. You got to win on an oval, road course, and a street course.
What's he got right now? He's just got ovals.
Newgarden's just got ovals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So if he wins
I think everyone has
Nashville
has
is Nashville's his home race.
Yeah, but how did they do last year?
Not so well. They struggle. Anyways, so I'm just saying they just got a chance there. Then he's got a chance. Worst case at Laguna,
right?
Or WeatherTech, Monterey, whatever it is, Laguna Seca.
Freshly repaved Monterey.
Freshly repaved, but he's turned into Rick Mears because Mears used to dominate in the ovals. So he's on fire.
Yeah.
So hats off to him. Trying to see if there's any surprise. Takuma had a ninth place finish on Saturday. Mm-hmm. It's not bad. Dixon hung in there for a top 10, and Palou. This was the weekend I thought Palou would struggle. He doesn't typically do well here.
Yeah.
And he again, I mean, because what was he with Dale Coyne the first year? His first year, and then he was with or whatever. It doesn't matter. Yeah. He's always straight. He's never won, but he's never. It's just one of those things. All right, let's move to race 2, which was Sunday of the High V doubleheader. If you're a music fan, it was quite a weekend there. Had a little Kenny Chesney and Carrie Underwood on Saturday, and we had Zach Brown, not Formula One Zach Brown, not McLaren Zach Brown, but the Zach Brown Band. And then we had worldwide music sensation, as young Lee Diffie said, Ed Sheeran. Jesus.
I think he was his #1 fan there.
I think he was. It was like, I don't know why I was hyping it, because like they weren't going to show it live. It was like,
I know.
It was like,
and I know that I know Hy-Vee and IndyCar have done a good job of promoting the event and making it something to go to, but they've also skyrocketed the ticket
prices,
like 300%,
it's
something like that. It's so I mean
it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
like what they should have done was sell a race ticket. Okay, you get the race ticket. That ticket's typically higher priced, right? So you get in. Mm-hmm. Those tickets should have got you down front at the concert. And if you wanted to come to the concert, you went into the general admission section in the second session. That's all. Second section.
Yeah,
that's all they had to do. If you wanted to go down, that's like what they do is let everybody in with a ticket that had a seat, go down there, or if you were in the paddock clubs or whatever, you get into that front area, and then they say, okay, fine, the concert only fans. Because like at Indy, we couldn't go to the Snake Pit unless we bought a ticket.
Right.
In addition to the race ticket.
Yeah.
But if you wanted to go to the Snake Pit, you bought the Snake Pit, but you were stuck in there. Were you? Is that how it worked?
No, I think Snake Pit was also general admission.
General admission. Okay. So you could watch the race.
Because we could pretty much go right up to the entrance of the and
we just couldn't get in.
We couldn't get into the pit, but we could still just stand outside and listen to the whole thing.
Yeah. Like, we could have stood on the mound there and watched it. Yeah.
I
mean, we were just watching DJs. We didn't see the concert on Friday. Anyways, race 2, Newgarden coming through the pack. Mm-hmm. Started 7th, just knifed his way through with some incredible passes.
Yeah.
Rosenquist was very racy. Mm-hmm. And then McLaughlin was in it to the end, and the tires burned out, and there was a late race caution, and that screwed him. So it was unfortunate. Dixon once again finished 6th, so he finished 6th. Mm-hmm. Palou rebounded nicely, finished 3rd, so he minimized the damage.
I mean, the only one who put any gain on Palou was Janu, yeah. That's it.
David Malukas had a nice run. He was in the mix early in the race. Mm-hmm. Again, he's definitely someone that's going to come into play during the silly season here. And Pato 10th, and there was a surly interview after the race. So kid's got to get his head on straight.
Yeah, I mean,
I like him, but the hype on him is.
Yeah, you definitely can't win every race. I mean, I know Palou's kind of proven that wrong to some degree, but I mean, you do have to know the strengths of your car, and where you think you're going to excel. And I know that, granted, they probably should have won Texas.
Well, they should have won St. Pete, but they had the plenum.
Yes, yeah. The season started out with Pato having 2 unfortunate issues.
Yeah.
Or just bad string of luck for the first 2.
Then you had a couple
races
where like you go to Birmingham and he throws it off the track qualifying, which was just dumb.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a lot of little stuff that are compounding to a big season.
I'm hoping
loss of points.
Yeah, I know like they got Tony Canaan being a
mentor.
I don't know. He's
ambassador.
There, consultant or something on the team. I think he really needs to kind of do one-on-one coaching with Pato. Alex doesn't need it.
No, I don't think.
And I don't think Rosenquist needs it, but Pato needs the. He needs to stay focused. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I know people say Colton gets overhyped. I think part of Colton's problem is I think Andretti's spread too thin. I think they need to consolidate the team a little bit and go back to 3 cars.
Yeah, because you can't necessarily say Colton is overhyped if he's driving for a crap team.
Well,
I shouldn't say crap.
But when you're running 5, what are they running? 5 cars, 4 cars, 5.
4.
Roman, Colton, Kirkwood, DeFrancesco.
Yeah,
it's 4.
And
honestly, DeFrancesco's taking up space.
And it's not that I know Kirkwood's going to win this year.
Yeah.
But out of those 4 drivers, Colton's really the only one.
Roman's been all over the place.
Roman's inconsistent, and Colton's the only consistent. He's the only consistent one within that team that you would have to rely on feedback.
Yeah, so my thing is you got all these resources spread over 4 cars. Do you have the best possible resources on that one car? On that one car? If he's your lead driver, you should have all your number 1 resources on that car.
Also, not to mention that Andretti themselves are doing like every other type of racing.
I know.
So it's a live and learn situation.
I mean, Penske's doing it, but where are they struggling? They're struggling in WEC and IMSA.
Yes. So I mean, at some point, like something's gonna drop.
Something's gonna drop. I think what they need to do is scale back on the cars. That's just my opinion. And then take their resources and kind of, I don't know, but they keep talking. I know Francesco is probably out, so he'll be off the coin.
Yeah,
but the one that's probably going to come in is Malukas.
Yeah, because
well, we don't know what's going on with Grosjean
either,
because he's out of contract too.
Well, he's out of contract, but he's also supposed to be doing WEC full time next
Lamborghini,
year.
Right?
Yeah. So, because he's already confirmed there. Now, the schedules are supposedly not going to clash, but
who knows?
Yeah.
Anyways, so that was that. Just a quick look at the result. I'm sorry, the schedule. The next race is at Nashville, which will be. Yep. I like it. They made some tweaks to the track. So right now we have an 80-point gap between Palou and Newgarden.
Mm-hmm.
So anything's possible.
But how many positions are covered from JNU down that are 80 or 100-point difference?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, so here we go. We got 5 races left. So we have Nashville on the 6th of August. The following weekend, they're at Indy. They're at Indy the same weekend NASCAR is there.
Right.
And this is on the road course.
Road course.
Then they go to Worldwide Technology Park Raceway, which is in Missouri, but it's the Grand Prix of Illinois.
That's good.
Good. Makes sense. Then it's off to Portland and then Laguna. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I think 80 points with that schedule is a little tough. I think if it was down to, say, 50 points after this weekend, there might be a chance, but I think Palou still controls what's going on here.
I was going to say, well, all right, so a race win is 50 points, and then it's 40, 35, and then you're
what you
by
need
2.
Is you need some DNFs. from Palou where Newgarden wins. That's what's going to happen. I just don't see it happening.
I was gonna say where's two races that Palou doesn't do well?
You could get caught up at Portland in the first turn. Again, that's the only thing. Indianapolis, get caught up in the first turn. I don't know. Nashville. I mean, it's hard. I think right now. So
well, it's hard. It's hard to say he'll get caught up at the Indy Road Course because last time they were there, he won.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's one race you're already. Not that he'll win that race, but he's got a good shot at a top 5 finish there. No problem. I mean, this year alone, he's finished outside the top 10, outside of the top 5 twice, and both times he finished 8th. So he's never finished outside of the top 10.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think Nashville and Portland are probably the two races that he might get caught out.
Yeah, but he has to DNF, and Janew's got to win.
Right.
I mean, essentially is what's going to happen. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Or I mean, even if Janey puts it on the podium.
Yep.
So
right now, I think you got the two hottest drivers, 1-2.
Yeah. So. And then Dixon just casually in third.
Casually, he's there in case pick up the scraps in case they screw up. Anyways, all right, let's move on to IMSA real quick. This was a very short weekend, 2 days, Friday and Saturday. Friday was practice and qualifying. Saturday was the race. There was the VP Fuel Series had 2 races on Saturday. One in first thing in the morning, one at they were the wrap up for the weekend, and then we had a Michelin Pilot TCR race with 13 cars. Mm-hmm. They did run the old configuration though.
Yeah, but they typically ran the old config.
That's right.
Anyway,
Michelin Pilot ran that. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not
that
not that I'm
that's
not
good.
shocked, but
anyways,
it's good. Good though.
So it was a Hyundai 1-3 with Honda finishing second.
I'm sorry, Honda or Hyundai?
Hyundai.
Yeah.
Are they the Elantras or are they the Velocitors?
Nope, they're the Elantras.
Elantras, okay.
The highest finishing Veloster was in 5th.
5th, okay. And the Honda finished second, or did they finish third? Third. Okay, so it was Honda 1-2.
No.
Hyundai, sorry.
1-2. Honda, Civic.
Right. Got it.
Third.
I wish it was Kia. It would be easier. Anyways.
And then where did the Alpha finish?
Oh, did it blow up? Did it run?
Yeah, it ran. They finished
13th.
2 laps down and 9th.
Oh, okay. They had some kind of issue probably then. Battery, electronics. Some kind of fire. All right.
All right, well.
So anyways, GT race. Fascinating race this was in the sense that first 4 places were GTD Pro cars.
What?
Yes. Yep. Shocking. No
GTD beating the GTD Pro cars overall?
No. What's even more fascinating is that there were a total of 168 laps completed. 20 cars took the green flag. Somewhere along the line, all 20 cars apparently were running at the end, although the Andretti Aston Martin only ran 41 laps. They got completely blown up and going into Big Bend. That was just, I was like, how do you miss your breaking point? And that was Alan Menti, who was driving the Kelly Moss Porsche, just missed his breaking point by a mile.
Yeah.
And then the McLaren, coming down the downhill, lost it to the inside.
That's right.
And I think he was just trying to get to the pit lane. But
Yeah.
it was odd. He went straight in to the tire barrier, and the car bounced around, but it was like, woof. Anyways. Now, so those three, that was 18th, 19th, 20th. From 17th all the way up to 1st, they all finished on the lead lap. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
At Lime Rock. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So, overall, I guess quality race. It was an Aston Martin weekend. In GT Pro, the Aston was fast out of the box, fast in qualifying, took pole, won the race. I don't really think they were challenged. That car could always pull a gap. The interesting battle was 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, which was the Lexus, the FAF Porsche, and the Corvette. They got stuck in a train.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, and it was hard. Like each car would just get enough of a gap, but they couldn't gap the leader. So
Right.
But overall, good race. In GT AM or whatever they call it, harder racing. Aston won there, so it was double win for Aston Martin. It was then Porsche was 2-3 in the GT Pro class, AM class. So good to see.
Yeah.
Again, it's just that's a tough weekend. It's just for a race fan, it's
I mean, we've had our gripes about it, but I mean, So this year they had
VP Fuels.
They had IMSA GT class. Then they had the VP Challenge series, which is the
LMP3 and
LMP3 and GT4s, but they call it
GSX.
And then so those are two series there. And then they had a standalone TCR race for the Michelin Pilot series.
Yeah.
The past couple years, it's been
Michelin Pilot,
IMSA GT cars, and then the Michelin Pilot series, which is the GT4 and the TCR. And the TCRs.
And of that race, of those two races, the Michelin Pilot race was typically the better race.
Yes.
Just because, the amount of cars, and you had cars passing cars within class, cars passing intra-class cars, so that was always fun. But it's...
I mean, I'm
from a ticket perspective, it's not that expensive, but from an entertainment perspective, in between the races, it was like it was like a car corral.
It's not what it was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there is no reason outside of lack of paddock space. There's no reason they couldn't bring in the Porsche Supercar, the Porsche Cup cars. You could bring in the Lamborghinis, or just bring in the Mazdas.
Yeah.
The Mazdas, though, would be all over the place.
Yeah.
There's like 50 of them, but it would be fun to watch.
Yeah.
I get it.
But one year they did have the local SCCA Mazda MX-5.
Yeah.
That was fine.
That was fun.
It's not that it's a low... There's a lack of track action. Yeah, I know they went from 2 series to 3 for this year, but there's just dead time in between.
Yeah, and it's brutal, and the dead time is absolutely brutal.
Yeah,
it's absolutely brutal. The VP, nice ad, but I don't know. I'm still
when I flipped on the recap, there were 6 LMP3s, and like 10 GSX, so I was a little disappointed there just in the car count. So I mean, it's I know it's a tough race, and I don't know if many people want to go to this race or not, but
I think part of the problem is it's 2 days. It's literally in Friday. They load in Thursday, and then they have to load out Friday. They got to load out Saturday night. Yeah, I mean, we've been there over on Sunday, and there's very few cars that are like everyone's locked up. Yeah, but like. The trucks.
There was one year that we went as fans. We got there on a Wednesday night.
That was the bomb of all bomb weekends in terms of the fact that they ran the World Challenge Series was there.
Yes,
they ran. They ran Wednesday. I think we got there Tuesday.
No. We got there Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yeah, because they ran Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, so there was racing. Yeah, so World Challenge was 1 day event. I think they ran on Wednesday, and we just got there Wednesday. That was the thing. I think World Challenge ran on Wednesday, like their practice sessions and stuff.
No, I think they raced Friday.
No, because IMSA was there.
Yeah, but they can do a race.
There was a IMSA Michelin pilot race, and there was an IMSA G, and that was when they were running LMP3 cars.
Yep.
That weekend, but yeah, that weekend. They ran the Lamborghinis that weekend. That thing was that whole weekend.
That's why that weekend was. Yeah, that weekend was good.
Yeah, I just I really feel like the fans in the Northeast are getting really whacked.
Well, you got to be more specific because Watkins Glen is in the Northeast.
I get it, but the Northeast is from New Jersey, New York City, up to Albany, and then all of New England are getting seriously whacked on that race. That used to be the premier road race, and then if you wanted to, you would go to the 6 hours at the Glen.
Yeah,
I just feel like Lime Rock's getting penalized now. Granted, it can't run the prototypes. That's fine. I don't care. But as an IMSA fan, bring your other series.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know. It's just, it's not, for me, it's the 85, what was it, $85 for the weekend ticket or $100,
like
whatever. The price that I think Watkins Glen was $100. It was $100 plus $20 for parking. I paid the extra $120.
Yeah, but that was just for.
That was, technically you got to get in there Thursday with that ticket.
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You get 4 days of racing,
Yep.
so $25 a day. Mm-hmm. And honestly, there's no shame in leaving the 6 hour early because you can get it on the XM radio.
Yeah.
2 hours to go. All right, you might mean this, but the amount of racing that you've seen up until that point is immense. So, going forward, I'll probably be making the trek out to Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
Unless something changes at Lime Rock. Mm-hmm. So, and the other thing is the reconfiguration of the campground at Lime Rock is junk because now they got that FCP Euro test track, kart track that they got in there. That's taking up a bunch of the camping spots. You're like literally camping on pavement.
Well, it's not that. It's the space that we used to camp at
they got taken out.
Right, because that berm is now being moved into.
Yeah,
wherever it I think it was like the Lexus.
It doesn't
truck a tent.
No, yeah, that's all fine. But that
that
FCP Euro stuff's all over there now. So they've taken up all this camping space.
Yeah, but that track, that pavement has always been there.
That was an access road, but that on the left side of that, which is where we camped.
Yes.
Okay, that's even smaller now.
No, I understand that, but that's the point I'm making.
It's I don't know. It's just whatever. It's not what it was.
No.
And I'm just not gonna. I'm not doing the day trip down there because trying to get in there on a Saturday sucks. When you're trying to drive in from the hotel, you got to literally drive with the teams. You got to leave at 5 a.m, get to the track at 6.
Oh yeah.
That's how you get in there. So I don't know. It's just there's no place to hide in the sun down there.
No. If you're making a day trip to Lime Rock, you got to get there super early, get the right spot, and then be done with it. Now, this isn't the track itself. Lime Rock has been making updates to the track.
The track is in beautiful condition.
It's the facilities are great and they're getting better and better. It's not Lime Rock we're mad at. It's IMSA.
The only thing I'm mad about is the lack of camping space now. The camping space has been kind of diminished.
But it is just like it has felt over the last 5 years that the track action has just gotten slowly less and less.
Yeah.
Like there was one time I thought we sat at our campsite for 2 hours with nothing going on.
That was I know our last trip there.
I know lunch was going on or whatever.
Yeah, but everyone took a nap.
But yeah, it was there was like it felt like 2 hours of just nothing going on in the middle of the day.
Like, as opposed to that weekend when it was the World Challenge was there. We were literally having breakfast and they had a warm-up session going on at like 8 o'clock. It was awesome.
Yeah.
That weekend. That was probably that in when they were running the Audis there. The R8s were running there.
The
in AMS. And no, in AMS. The Audi prototypes, yeah.
Oh, that's way back, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that was like the heyday of it.
The muscle milk cars.
Plus, back in the day, you had AMS and then you had Grand Am. So you had two race weekends.
Right.
And the Grand Am weekend was typically in the fall, which was awesome because it was like October, and it was like right first weekend in October. It was beautiful. Yeah. So I kind of missed that. So Memorial Day, yeah, that's right. The AMS race was Memorial Day, and then the Grand Am race was. Yeah.
No. Pirelli World Challenge was Memorial Day
that's
weekend.
right. Yeah. So there were three series there.
And then ALMS used to be 4th of July weekend.
Right.
And then Grand Am in the end of September.
Yeah. So there were 3 weekends.
Three solid weekends.
Yeah, and the World Challenge races were pretty good. I mean, they just didn't draw a crowd. I don't know why.
No, but it's
like the Trans Am cars run there on Memorial Day now. But they're not. It's like, it's cheap to bring them. I hate to say that. Yeah. It's a cheap series to bring there. But anyways, they're just looking to run there. So I hate to say it, but anyways, it's just tough because they run Saturday and then they don't run Sunday and they run Monday, and it's like, oh god, that's just. There's nothing going on Sunday except a car show.
Yeah, I mean, I get. Lime Rock doesn't run run on Sundays because of their agreement with the town and the church, but that's the track rules. That's what you got to deal with, and that's how they're operating.
So there we go. All right. So
rant done.
Rant done. All right. So let's move on to Formula One. And Max won.
Yes.
Max won.
Keeping the dream alive.
Keeping the dream alive.
Red Bull winning every race.
You would never have thought that on Saturday. You thought the world would have ended. And it was all Britannia. Jesus.
I'm not sold on this new qualifying format either.
No, I'm not either.
It's the first one. I expect some mix up with the first go around of it because teams will try and figure it out.
Right.
Once teams figure it out, it's going to be as is.
Right.
So,
qualifying's turning into a gimmick.
Okay, how so?
Well, when you're playing with all the tires, it's just like, just go out and just whoever's the fastest goes.
Well, this approach I don't mind because it's not the knockout. It's not changing the qualifying format.
Anyways, I see your point. So, with the tires, just trying to mix it up.
Yeah, because it's not like the knockout qualifying where you're changing it to something
right.
The format is still the format.
Yeah.
So you're because I can see the argument that James Vowles made where now everyone is on the same tires. It's not like a team like Williams is using 3 sets of softs to get to the next round, and then they don't have as many sets of tires as some of the top teams moving forward. So I can see how that's good there, but I'm still not sold on it because I think teams will figure out how to adjust and make it work moving forward. It is interesting to see the cars perform on the different tires because I think that argument does make or that's a good argument to make where you can see how the car, you basically have to set the car up to perform on all 3 sets of tires.
Yeah. At the end result of the qualifying though, yes, Lewis was the fastest car, but I'm not. This is like now I'm going to sound like a Red Bull apologist, but the Mercedes on a 1-lap pace is a quick car, and it was on light fuel.
Yeah.
All right. I necessarily don't think Red Bull was trying to. If they could win qualifying, I think Max wanted to win it. To take pole, but I don't think. I think Red Bull's end game was the race. on Sunday.
Well, you can't also rely on just the race pace either, because you don't want to get yourself caught out too badly in qualifying.
I think their thought was that they had enough to finish. Well, Max was going to finish in the top 3. I don't care. Unless something went wrong, he was going to be in the top 3. Okay, in the top 3. If you're in the top 3 in the Red Bull, you're going to win the race. Okay, Sergio. I mean, needless to say, the weekend started off horrendously, and then got better. I mean, like if that continued and he conked out in Q3, I'm going to say he may have been gone after Spa. But I'm just saying, maybe not. I don't know.
No,
let's put it this way: it probably would have sealed his fate for next year.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I mean, he rebounded, throughout the weekend, and then rebounded in the race. I just the over the top, and the thing is, whether you're on F1 or you're on TV or you're on Sky on ESPN, the overindulgence of British biased announcing is just.
You can start watching the German broadcast.
Yeah, I know. I guess that's what I probably should watch. It's like, did you guys really think, like, I almost want to sit there and go, you really thought Lewis was going to win on Sunday?
You can't look at it from that. You have to drum up they could beat Red Bull.
Yeah, on qualifying. I'm just saying, when you get like they were saying that it was a fait accompli that he was going to win the race on Sunday.
Oh, I didn't hear. Well,
oh yeah,
I guess I don't watch much further after.
Yeah, no. That was the whole thing, and it was like like Team LH tweets that were like, hey, and it's like, like they all. Then it was all, yeah, Max is going to wipe him out in turn 1. I'm like, no, he's not going to wipe him out in turn 1.
No.
All right. I mean, if he started second, finished, and got to third because he was on the inside line on the start,
right,
which is the dirty side. Let's just say Lando got by him.
Mm-hmm.
Once DRS kicked in,
right, the pace from Sergio proved, that
the Red Bull had race pace.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay,
but it's also like it. I know Max has a bit more pace than Sergio, and it's not what Sergio can do, Max can do as well.
Right, and I just wasn't worried. I was like sitting there just like, I'm like, whatever. It's just get blinded by the Union Jack. I mean, whatever. It's just stop it. Be objective about it. Just stop it. I mean, it's really like ESPN really needs to get an American set of announcers in there, or non-biased announcing crew. Okay, F1 TV I really enjoy, but I enjoy it more so when Hinch is on. Mm-hmm. In the booth, they have Coulthard in there, and it's like, I'm not a big fan of him.
You don't like DC?
No, I'm not a big fan of him because Julian, I think, is just brighter. I like Julian and Alex Cheeks, but it's just like, when it's not so much them, but it's like you go to the post-race stuff, and it was just, Lewis is back. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, but you watch the post-race stuff.
I know, but I'm watching everything because I want to get all the news that I can get, and it's just like the post-qualifying show. I mean, but it was just like, it was like the end of the world for Red Bull.
To be honest, I don't feel like I'm missing anything when I don't listen to the pre and post race show.
Oh, not so much the pre-show. It's just more the post-qualifying show. You get a lot of nuggets out of
any
that.
of the pre or post race analysis.
Well, you're not
stuff.
a fan.
I don't think I'm missing anything of them going in depth on the same stuff that they've been going in depth on for the past 5.
I mean, there was one great overlay of Lewis was faster in 1 second. That's where that margin came for the qualifying,
right?
Which is fine. I'm just saying, qualifying doesn't translate to race pace. That's all I'm saying.
I agree.
So I just don't understand why.
No, because you have to make a story out of nothing.
Right.
When
I think
when
that's
the whole,
what
when
the season is basically over.
Right.
What
but
it is.
But the storyline that no one wants to acknowledge is or
McLaren's gotten faster than Mercedes.
No, I wasn't even going for that. I don't think anyone wants to hear the storyline of can Red Bull win every single race.
Well,
because to me that's a way more interesting story to follow.
Yeah.
And it's not that I don't want to see any other team win, but when you have a team that has this shot to perfection,
you're now past halfway.
Right. I mean, so what? Technically, they've beaten the most consecutive race wins, but
I think
if they do,
if this thing gets clinched by Monza,
yeah,
just saying, the drivers thing. I'm not saying at this point the constructors thing is out the window.
I don't actually help.
Assuming Sergio can keep his head in the game.
Yeah,
but if the drivers thing's clinched by Monza, there could be a day that Max has an off day. I'm not saying it because he likes to win. So, and the way he's driving right now, it's pretty cool.
Sorry, I'm just trying. It doesn't look like. I just did a quick Google search, but it looks like the earliest Max could win is Singapore.
Ugh. All right. Well,
so I mean, you still got.
There's no hope then for these people because he's gonna.
Time.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Because what? When is? Okay, so you got 4 more races.
Yeah.
Until he could theoretically do it.
Right.
And that's
so. I mean. Yeah. I mean, he's got 110 on Sergio. Fernando's still got 6 on Lewis, and Russell's 40-something back from that, and then Carlos and Leclerc. Lando's 8th, so he's sort of trying to close that gap. But
I'm sorry, and Max winning in Singapore is only true if Sergio fails to score.
Okay,
so it's gonna carry.
All right.
Probably
it's going to go a little bit. So Max does have a vested interest.
But the more likely race it says is probably Qatar.
All right. All right. Well, there we go. So, like I said, we got Max, Sergio, Fernando, Lewis, George, Carlos, Charles, Lando, Lance, and Esteban. I'd like to applaud Alpine on a fine weekend.
I mean, after
they were crap in practice, crap in qualifying, and
got punted out of the
They
race.
got punted, granted, but I mean, that's what happens when you start back there. Danny Rick got caught up in that. It wasn't his fault.
I was gonna say it was the guy in 5th.
that fell back. Yeah, he fell back. So I don't know what was going on with that.
Because that was a real shame for Alfa Romeo because that was a really good qualifying and it looked like they had pace all weekend, but the stuff happens. It's never gonna fall your way all the time. But I mean, overall, again, I know everyone's like, "Oh, Red Bull's dominating. Like someone's got to shake the order up." I'm like, again, I sometimes think people forget like how dominant other teams have been in the past. Like
Mercedes. Oh, sorry, Mercedes.
Well, Mercedes, Ferrari, when they had their and even I guess even Red Bull when Vettel was winning there. Like, yeah, Max is winning by like 30 seconds, but the rest of the field is tight. Mm-hmm. Like it is super close.
It is.
Relatively speaking to what we've seen in the past. Like Max isn't winning the race by over half a lap or almost a full lap and lapping, up to like the top 5. Like that's not what he's he's doing in some of these races. Yes, I know. I think Monaco was probably like the exception where I think he lapped up to somewhere in the top 10. But Monaco is tight and small to begin with. But at a lot of these other tracks, like you're seeing qualifying where almost the entire grid is within a second of each other. I remember watching qualifying, and the second and third best team were lucky to be within a second of the top team. So to have the whole field within that, it shows that I think this cost cap system is working, and I think you're seeing the benefits of it start to come to fruition now, because you can see a team like McLaren make the jump that they have mid-season. But I think that's because the top three teams, Ferrari, Mercedes, and Red Bull, you can't just spend your way out of it. So and I know that there have been some reports of like you sign an engineer or someone, an employee who's worked at these top three teams to the smaller teams, but that's because these smaller teams now have a budget where they can afford them, because the top teams can't keep them on payroll. Now, I think some of this is speculating on my part, but I mean, if you're treating this cost cap like a salary within any sporting team, this is the stuff you have to take into account. So, I mean, can you afford the big name technical people or anyone who can work the cost cap book in your favor? You know, like it's a whole team to produce what the car team that the Red Bull is
with
doing.
The cost cap. It's almost like these teams need to look to the NFL to hire these capologists. Mm-hmm. I swear to God, these guys know what they're doing. Because the NFL works on you're on a cap,
and this cost cap system, the lower teams have already been operating in this method to begin with, because for them, they can't just spend. You have to do the research and make sure that
top 5 teams that are really the ones that need to rein it in.
Yeah, because you can't just say like, oh, we found this much improvement on a part because we did one test. It's like, well, okay, but can you find something else so we don't waste the time and resources on one thing?
Don't forget with Red Bull, they're only good. The money they get is the money that comes from Red Bull sales. Mm-hmm. All right. I mean, granted, it's a global brand and it's a mega global brand, but it's not like they're not getting a budget like Toto's getting from Mercedes,
right?
Or Ferrari's getting. Mm-hmm. McLaren. It's not based on them selling cars. It's their private investment that they get,
right?
And the money that they get by finishing where they do, and bringing in sponsorship. Now, Zach is a sponsorship guru, so that's why they're bringing the sponsorship in. Now, Red Bull, it's a global, global brand. But I mean, if someone comes out and says Red Bull is like, I'll kill you, I mean, it might, but it's. These, they really need to almost hire forensic accountants now to be, or capologists from the NFL to get them to work in that space. So, anyways, so Max continues to romp on. We go to Spa this weekend. Spa should be fun. Looks like rain. So, hopefully there'll be a race.
Yeah.
Should we get to the picks? I don't think Nate was able to get us his. No. I'll put his in right now. Logan Sargent,
Lance,
and K-Mag. Those are Nate's picks.
Okay. Well, good for him. I don't see anyone other than Max winning this race. I think
I agree with you there.
I think after the past 2 races, McLaren is definitely up there.
If it rains, this is where I take a different tack.
Okay.
I'm gonna go. If it rains, I'm gonna go Lewis.
winning the race.
No.
Oh.
Max winning the race, Lewis second.
Okay.
And then I will go Carlos third because Carlos is pretty good in the rain. Checo will probably be fourth. That's all. I'm just predicating on rain.
I think it'll be Max, and then it'll be a McLaren.
Okay.
Double podium.
Yep.
I think Oscar will finally get.
Okay, that's fine.
Get himself up there.
All right. Okay. Well, there we go. That's our race recap. 2 weekends worth of racing recapped. Let's talk about some news. Obviously, let's talk NASCAR real quick because they're going to be going to the road course at Indy. News broke.
Not this week.
Not this week, but late last week that Brody Kostecki.
Sorry, when are they going to the Indy road course?
In like a couple weeks.
Yeah. So not this week.
It's in August.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So Brody Kostecki is going to be coming and running the RCR guest car, which is good. He's had a couple forays in some NASCAR events over here, Canaan and some other stuff. He's a good driver. He's on a hot streak. He's a little bit on a hot streak right now over there, but that's because of this whole transformation of the supercars into this new platform they're running. I don't know if he's going to be able to. He'll probably finish better than Button. Who else is running in that race?
I don't know.
There's somebody else that's running. I forget who. There's somebody else that's not. And then there was the follow up that dropped, and it was SVG. Now, Trackhouse gets all the props on this. They sent a text interchange between Justin Marks and SVG, and said, "Hey, we should do this more often." And SVG's like, "Yeah, I'd love to." Well, how about Indy? And he's like, "Are you serious?" And they're like, "Yep." And so SVG will be there. Then Kyle Busch comes out and goes, "He'll win." I'm like, I'm not.
He might.
He might. Let's put it this way: he's going to be in contention.
Yeah.
All right. Unless he gets wiped out, he'll be in the top 10.
Yeah.
Now, if he wins, I would not be surprised. Because NASCAR's run on that track before, so we'll see what happens. Let's see what else. This I found interesting. Alfa Romeo.
Yes.
Could be coming a hypercar.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
Okay, now I see, it says postpones decision on future factory motorsport program. Now, right now, like it says, yeah, they're involved with Formula One. It's a badging exercise, okay?
Yeah.
So that's all changing because that's going to Audi. So if they decide not to do a badging exercise, say with Haas, so it's Haas Alfa Romeo, it's no big ding there. But the fact that they may come to hypercar or GT whatever what is DPI
LMH.
LMDH.
No, LMH.
There's LMH and LMDH.
Yes.
Lambo is LMDH.
Lambo is an LMDH running in both.
Both, right. And Porsche is an LMDH running in both.
And so
Ferrari is an LMH.
Sorry, we're probably confusing a lot of people. LMDH, LMDH and LMH is what this new prototype platform is.
It's called hypercar.
LMH is hypercar. LMDH is GTP.
No, GTP and IMSA. LMDH in Europe is hypercar. In WEC, it's hypercar. It's just two different platforms. You can run one or two platforms. IMSA is only allowing you to run right now, this year, an LMDH car.
Yeah.
Next year, because we will have balance of power, BOP information from WEC, they will rehomologate their BOP to allow LMH cars. So that's why somebody like Risi is hot to get one Ferrari over here.
Yeah.
Just to set the You know, you come over here and you get your butt handed. Now, Toyota.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, even if they run one car, like, come on.
It'd be good.
It'd be great. I mean, Alpine is hot to run a car over here.
Well, they are.
Yeah.
They're going to.
They're going to. And Lambo is going to run at least one car here. Yep. We know that. I think this would be fantastic if Alfa Romeo comes. I mean, it'd be great if Peugeot came. But they're not. The problem with Peugeot right now is you have to badge it as. They don't sell Peugeots in the U.S. So it has to be badged as a Chrysler product.
Yes, would be a Dodge.
A Dodge or, Chrysler, a Plymouth.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Well, okay, because
they do it as a Jeep.
Because the same could be said for Acura if they went over.
Right.
They went the other way, because Acura would have to be Honda.
Essentially North America.
Yeah.
But this is really an Acura program. Honda is funding some of this, but Acura North America.
No,
HPD.
And that's right. Toyota could come over, but Toyota might want to brand as
a Lexus.
Yeah.
And the other advantage to doing that is that with this is where Alfa Romeo may want to look at. Do they go, okay, we did our Formula One little marketing exercise. Do we go to hypercar, and then can we come up with a GT3 car? Could they come up with a GT3 Giulia? Possibly. That would afford them the ability to run in WEC and the 24 Hours of Le Mans, both in the hypercar and on the GT platform. Yeah. We know that they produce TCR cars. We've seen it run here. It runs in Europe. So, I mean, interesting times. It was I must have missed the story on this from the folks at Daily Sports Car original story. And then I saw this today, and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." So I thought that was pretty cool. What else? They did the other thing that was kind of cool was the. Have you seen the new Civic Type R for Super GT?
No, I haven't. What's this thing look like? It looks like a Subaru.
I don't know. It looks awesome.
Actually, no. You know what? I shouldn't even say that.
It looks like a DTM car.
I shouldn't even.
It looks awesome.
I think the new Subaru WRX.
Haven't seen that yet.
The taillights.
Yeah.
I think they look like off of Civic.
Gotcha.
But that's just me.
Some other things going on. A lot of the IMSA GTD AM teams. Okay, GTD teams with bronze drivers are a little bit up in the air about next season because the bronze driver mandate. If that goes out the window, you're not going to see gentleman drivers in that class because then it's going to be silver on up. And a lot of the bronze drivers do fund a lot of these teams. Right. So there's a lot of that going. There's a lot of interaction going on there. A lot of behind-the-scenes politicking for that, so it's kind of interesting. Other things that are going on. Today, news broke that James Hinchcliffe tested a Kelly Moss Riley Porsche GT3 car, so GTD car at Indianapolis.
Yep.
So that's interesting. That's kind of piggybacks off of his Mazda ride at Watkins. So could he be looking to next year in IMSA? Possibly. Who knows? What else happened? Just trying. There was another story I wanted to.
Was it F1 related?
F1 Ferrari signed the guy from Mercedes.
Yeah, I saw that one. The other thing that I saw today was apparently F1 is going to make an announcement about 2 teams.
Oh, yeah. Andretti and High Tech.
Those are the 2 prominent ones.
Right. But why do they keep talking 11 teams? Like,
I don't know.
I mean, High Tech has, I don't even know who's using their motor. Like, what motor they're using?
Probably Renault.
All right.
Because this equalization
of the
talk,
the Renault.
I think Renault is. I think the incoming teams are looking, or I think Renault is looking to supply to the two incoming teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, they said that two teams were going to come in. Or sorry, there's supposed to be an announcement
of
sometime.
The FIA approving two teams.
The FIA
and
approving two teams.
Then it gets to Liberty and Toto and the Crybabies.
But this is going to be officially announced. It sounded like sometime
towards the end of the month.
The end of August.
End of August now? I heard the end of July.
Oh.
All right.
They were supposed to have an announcement
July 15th.
They
were.
And
it got pushed.
Okay. So
anyway.
Actually, when do we even know when this is coming out?
Yeah, I don't even know. It's whatever. And then we got to listen to Toto and the rest of them scream and yell, and it's it's like boring as all hell. It's like whatever.
However, if it is two teams, that come to the grid, that means you get four additional spots for drivers.
Yeah.
So
see what happens.
Who fills those? Who moves from what team to those teams? So
that's a good question.
Be interesting.
I mean, really, on the American side, it's really Newgarden's the only one. The only other person that has a U.S. driver that has a super license is Ricky Taylor.
Yeah, and I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't see Ricky. No. Because he's accurate. He's Honda.
Yeah, I mean, not even so much that. I
don't think.
Is that even something on his radar?
Possibly, but like if it was, through Andretti now because they're tied up with his dad's team, I just don't see. Just because he's with Andretti, does that mean he gets automatically moved up to Formula One? I don't really see that. He hasn't raced at that level. No,
that's what I mean. It's
he's raced at a high proficient sports car level.
Yes, it's not that he can't do it. It's just
he hasn't raced at a high level in open wheel.
Yeah,
I mean, if he was in Indycar right now and he was in the top 10, yeah. I mean, right now the only person I see that's ready to go is J New. I mean, Palou definitely is ready. I mean, Palou they can go.
Yeah,
whether or not they're going to get the, it's a whole crapshoot. You got to commit to the guy for 5 years.
Right.
And but anyways, yeah, so there's 4 drivers anyways. So that's interesting. Stoffel Van Dorn will be doing the Aston Martin at the tire test at Spa. So Belgian driver at the Belgian track post-race weekend. And then the only other thing that's floating around is Carlos Sainz continues to be rumored to go into Audi.
$2 years out. When is his contract up?
Next year.
End of next year.
End of next year.
So
he's looking for extension beyond 2024. He's looking for 2 years after, so 2026.
Right, because he has to get to 26.
If not, that's why he wants an out to go to Audi. If he goes to Sauber now.
Yeah.
Or at the end of his contract. Because I think Bottas is up. I think both drivers... I think both are up next year, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, because I know there's a couple of drivers up this year, but a lot of them are next year.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. I think we covered a lot.
We have. We covered NASCAR without Nate.
We did.
What's next on the Red Mist racing updates? Came off 2 weekends. We ran it.
Yeah, Kartmania. Ran it. Went up to Vermont last weekend.
We had a 3rd in tag and a 5th in World Formula. 4th in World Formula.
Yeah.
So overall, good weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little stumble on the start with the tag. Kind of bogged a little bit.
Yeah.
Don't know what was going on there, but it was a hot weekend. Oof. Everything got condensed to Saturday.
Yeah, everything got condensed so we could run it on the big track, which is good. Right call.
Because the monsoon that occurred on Sunday was that would have not been fun. That would have just negated a short track weekend and a mess.
It's not that I don't like running in the rain. I'm fine running in the rain, but
you were focused solely on the big track.
the whole point of Kartmania is we run the big track.
Yeah.
So I wanted to run the big track. So I was glad we got to do that.
Yeah, and I was glad the NHKA made the decision to do that. I think it worked out to everybody's advantage, and I think everyone was pretty psyched about that. And then you did the New England Karting Challenge, powered by Pride, over the weekend.
Yeah.
At, what was it?
Rocky Ridge Raceway.
Looked fun.
0.16 miles.
Can't believe it's a shifted track.
Yeah. The guys, the locals up there do weekly shifter kart races.
Are they 125cc shifter karts?
They're the ones that we run with at NHKA.
Jesus. Good for them.
It's not that they do weekly. It's that it's shifter kart racing on a short track.
Yeah, it's
like that is.
Yeah,
it's tiny.
It's tiny.
So
yeah, I mean it looks fun.
Yeah.
The track looks fun, but like in a shifter kart,
I know it's wild.
Oof. Wow. Anyways, and then what's next?
So week off, and then the next karting excursion is at
NEKC,
Clubworth,
powered by Pride,
Club Motorsports.
Yeah.
With NEKC.
Yep.
For round 3.
Round 3.
Yeah, I mean I've been there before, so I mean that'll be a good track, but I guess we'll just see how it goes.
And we are then like 2 weeks, a week after week. There's a week off, and then
I think it's a week off, and then it's a doubleheader week.
Doubleheader weekend. That's the last doubleheader weekend at Canaan. So
yeah.
So season's winding down
quickly.
So, anyways, all right. So we will look forward to talking to everyone next week. Hopefully Nate will be back from parts unknown, and we'll talk to you then.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you guys for listening to the Red Mist Podcast, hosted by Christian Abbott, Sean Abbott, and Nathan Lavin. It's produced by Christian Abbott, and music is by Alex Zwart and Harrison Tate.